funding support so you can get kids and youth more access to mental health services, whether they're in crisis or earlier on. Without a question, that'll be a win.
It's important to remember that Medicaid money can only be spent on kids that it insures. But if those dollars paid for, say, half a school nurse or a psychologist, a local district might be able to swing the other half and so help all students more. There are a few obstacles to making this all happen. First, families have to re-enroll in Medicaid every year to keep their benefits. Also, the money can't pay for a school nurse or psychologist if there's a shortage of qualified people to hire in that district. Finally, in many states, a school can't fully access this funding until the state updates its Medicaid policies. That's something that Medicaid Administrator Dan Tsai acknowledges states have been slow to do.
We're establishing a federal framework. If none of the states want to make it more flexible for schools to utilize this, we can't force them to.
We compiled data from Medicaid and from the advocacy group Schools campaign and counted at least 22 states that have at least partially updated policies. Oregon just finalized its update in May. If states and schools do overcome the obstacles, Tsai says they might get a lot more than the $6 billion that's spent today.
I don't think anyone has an exact estimate of should that double, should that triple, but I think we would all love to see over time a really significant increase in the use of school-based Medicaid.
Hi, Winnie. When Winnie starts second grade this month, there's a chance she'll get more of the help she needs when she's at school. Portland Public Schools tells NPR that because of the federal changes, it will restart billing Medicaid this year. It's not clear if this means Winnie will get the time she needs with an eye gaze machine and a trained instructor at school. But her mom hopes so.
Oh, great. Now we're laughing.
Because school is where Winnie loves to be.
She's really laughing and smiling. Yes. She loves school. There's just no doubt about it, Winnie.
For NPR News, I'm Emily Harris in Portland, Oregon.
She co-reported the story with Shasta Kearns-Moore. This is NPR News.
KANW is your NPR station. It's 6:29.
This is Heidi Brown, Development Director of KANW, the most listened to public radio station in New Mexico. The simplest way to support KANW is through cash gifts, the creative gifts of assets that include stocks, bonds, and property. Also support KANW. These gifts not only provide you with a charitable deduction, but often offer additional tax savings as well. Contact your financial advisor about supporting KANW with your planned gift. Visit KANW.com or call me, Heidi Brown, 505-242-7163.
KANW 629, Dave Mattingly is in Washington, standing by to report the very latest national news from NPR here on KANW. 8 Republican candidates stood on stage in Milwaukee with the goal of becoming the party's presidential nominee, but the frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, was missing. That story coming up 6:29 now at KANW.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Dave Mattingly. The Wagner mercenary group has yet to confirm the death of its leader, Yevgeny Prigozhin. Russia's civil aviation agency says Prigozhin was one of 10 people killed in yesterday's crash of a business jet shortly after it took off from Moscow. NPR's Charles Maines is in Moscow.
What we don't have is any official statement IDing Prigozhin's body or confirming his actual death, just as we don't have any kind of confirmation of what caused the crash. And both those factors have fueled all sorts of rumors and conspiracy theories. That said, many of Prigozhin's supporters seem to think he's indeed gone. A makeshift memorial appeared outside the Wagner Center in St. Petersburg last night.
It was 2 months ago. Prigozhin Trump is expected to surrender to authorities in Fulton County, Georgia today. And Greenclass with member station WABE says Trump was one of 19 people indicted there.
This judge will have to juggle up to 19 defendants plus proceedings in other court cases Trump's facing. Jury selection could take a long time too, and then some defendants are trying to move the case from state to federal. Federal law allows some federal officials charged for conduct under the color of office to remove their cases to federal court.
This is NPR News from Washington. A judge in Florida is scheduled to hear arguments today in a lawsuit challenging the state's updated congressional map. Valerie Crowder with member station WFSU says the changes eliminated the lone black majority district in the north of the state.
Plaintiffs argue the map should be struck down because it violates a state constitutional provision that protects minority access districts. Cecile Schoon is co-president of the Florida League of Women Voters, one of the groups suing.
As far as tracking, it will need to be the legal map hold on rights of the citizens.
Attorneys for the state argue that preserving a congressional district that allows African American voters in North Florida to elect their candidate of choice would have violated the U.S. Constitution. The case could end up before the Florida Supreme Court later this year. For NPR News, I'm Valerie Crowder in Tallahassee.
In Pennsylvania, a standoff between law enforcement and a man barricaded inside a house in Pittsburgh yesterday ended hours later with the suspect dead. It's unclear if the gunman took his own life or if he was shot by officers. Investigators say the suspect fired at officers initially as they tried to serve an eviction notice. Witnesses say they heard what sounded like hundreds of shots being fired during that standoff. Dow futures are down 39 points ahead of the open. I'm Dave Mattingly, Washington.
89.1 KANW. Good morning. It's 6:33.
Once Upon a Time in Northern Ireland on NMPBS, a powerful 5-part series gives a voice to the ordinary people who live through Northern Ireland's complicated and violent past. They share personal and unheard testimonies from all sides of the conflict. Hear the stories from the people and the communities whose lives were changed forever. Once Upon a Time in Northern Ireland premieres Monday, August 28th at 8 on NMPBS Channel 5.1 and streaming on the PBS app.
KNW 633 National Weather Service says statewide very moist atmosphere over New Mexico with scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms can be expected, concentrating over western and central parts of the state this afternoon and this evening. Storms will be capable of locally heavy rainfall in some areas. Good morning at 6:34 now, morning edition. This is KANW.
Support for NPR comes from the station and from BritBox, streaming new and original British series starring Succession's Matthew McFadden and Game of Thrones Gemma Whalen. Available at BritBox.com/NPR. From Indeed, the hiring platform designed to streamline the hiring process. Indeed works to help businesses attract, interview, and hire candidates in one place. More at Indeed.com/NPR. And from listeners like you who donate to this NPR station.
It's Thursday, and this is Morning Edition from NPR News. I'm Stephen Skip.
And I'm Leila Fulton. Good morning. 8 Republican candidates stood on stage in Milwaukee last night with the goal of becoming their party's presidential nominee. The man who is polling far ahead of all of them, former President Donald Trump. Indicted former President Donald Trump was missing. Instead, his interview with Tucker Carlson was being aired on X, formerly known as Twitter, at the same
Good morning, RS.
Still, the first Republican debate yielded exchanges, comedy, and even a dash of policy. Joining us to talk about all of this, our NPR political correspondent, Sarah McCammon, who joins us now from Milwaukee, along with NPR TV critic, Eric Deggans. Good morning to you both.
Hey there.
So, Sarah, let's start with you. Donald Trump is the frontrunner in this race, polling double digits higher than his closest challenger. But he sat this one out, opting for a one-on-one interview instead. So, how much did Trump factor in the debate last night?
Yeah, Leila, they talked about Trump, but to be clear, the candidates spent most of their time talking about other things, important things like the economy, the war in Ukraine, abortion. But of course, there were questions about Trump and the charges he's facing, including allegations of election interference. On that, we heard entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy, who's a bit of a rising star in the primary, point figures that defended Trump.
Let's just speak the truth, okay? President Trump, I believe, was the best president of the 21st century.
And the two candidates, former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson and former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, said they would not support Trump as the nominee if he's convicted on criminal charges. Here's Christie.
Whether or not you believe that the criminal charges are right or wrong, the conduct is beneath the office of President of the United States.
Eric, with so many candidates vying for attention, who made
dominate the stage the way you would expect the guy running in second place to Trump to do.
Sarah, one area of policy difference that came through among the candidates was abortion. It's a topic important to the party's base, yet it's one reason why Republicans underperformed in the midterm elections in the wake of that Supreme Court decision that overturned Roe v. Wade. How did that conversation play out on stage?
So you heard candidates like former Vice President Mike Pence and South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, both social conservatives who are making a strong plea for evangelical votes. They called for national abortion restrictions, but Haley has been more cautious about how she frames this issue. She staked out a position that may be less likely to alienate general election voters.
When it comes to a federal ban, let's be honest with the American people and say it will take 60 Senate votes. It will take a majority of the House. So in order to do that, let's find consensus.
But Pence has been pushing his Republican rivals to support at least a 15-week national ban if Republicans ever got enough votes. He talked about his religious beliefs and made clear he sees this as a moral issue.
To be honest with you, Nikki, you're my friend, but consensus is the opposite of leadership.
So we've been talking about the way the candidates performed last night. Let's talk about the people who are asking the questions, Eric. Veteran Fox News correspondent Brett Baer and Martha McCallum. How'd they do?
I think they had a lot of trouble controlling the crowd, and they regularly seem to allow the candidates to blow through their time limits for speaking. In a way, this is another norm that Trump has obliterated through his debate performances, creating a situation where the audience doesn't seem to mind if the candidates disregard the rules and talk for as long as they want about whatever they want. They also asked several questions that might seem odd to anyone who doesn't spend a lot of time watching Fox News coverage. Everything from starting the debate with a question about a pop song, criticizing Washington politicians, to asking about UFOs. So it was interesting.
Eric, Trump's pre-recorded interview with Tucker Carlson, former Fox host, was put up 5 minutes before the debate on Fox News, deemed counter-programming. Does that threaten Fox News' status as the most influential outlet in conservative media?
Not so far. I mean, Trump's interview was pre-recorded, and I think people could duck into it or out of it whenever they wanted while the debate was live. But it is notable that the current frontrunner for the GOP nomination is feuding with Fox News. They both need each other in a way because Trump reaches his base through them, and they need his connection to the base. So it'll be interesting to watch these two tiptoe around each other as the nomination process unfolds.
So before I let you both go, Sarah, I'd like to end with you. Who had a good night and who fell flat?
Well, Ramaswamy did seem to be getting a lot of buzz on social media for whatever that's worth. Had some big moments. Pence and Haley had their strong moments. Christie has a difficult path as an anti-Trump.
Invite mo si Aras. Aras TV.
We'll see how that works for him. And like Eric said,
Tikitan mo si Kwan. Yes, Eden Tipito.
Just didn't have a lot of the breakout moments candidates are looking for at this stage.
Para mapuntahan mo siya.
Sarah McCammon and Eric Deggans, thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Makipagkantahan ka kay
Now
President.
we meet a high school senior with a side hustle.
My name is Kira DeConway, and I've been in the fire company. I'm a volunteer. I'm a junior firefighter.
Makara lives in White Marsh Township, Pennsylvania.
I would see a lot of signs out at different stations, and they were all requesting help and volunteers needed. So that was kind of the first thing that
Morning, Marcel.
and made me feel like I could help out.
So she told her mom, Betsy Kakande, she wanted to be a firefighter.
When Kara
Buwan na yun.
decided that she was going to apply, I felt
9 p.m. dyan.
me not knowing enough about fire service, one way for me to kind of educate myself about it would be to also participate and volunteer. And so
Yan o,
that's
si
what I
Maricel.
did.
Maricel, punta mo si Press. Eden.
I was surprised because I expected to just do it by myself, and she never really talked to me about wanting to do it as well. It was kind of spontaneous, so it was a nice surprise.
A kind of spontaneous combustion. After training for the past year, Makira and Betsy are now certified, fighting a trend in which fewer people than in the past serve as volunteer firefighters. We're on fire this morning. It's NPR News.
KANW
89.1. It's 6:42.
This is Moments of Enchantment, heard only on KANW, New Mexico Public Radio. Brought to you by Eurofay, remodeling, design, and innovations at eurofay.com. October 1884. Gunshots rang out in the Mogollon Mountains west of Socorro. Deputy Sheriff Elfego Baca had barricaded himself in a small hut. 36 hours and about 4,000 gunshots later, Baca emerged alive and well. More in a moment. You're listening to Moments of Enchantment, where the people, places, legends, and the rich history of New Mexico come alive every weekday morning, only on KANW, New Mexico Public Radio. Sponsored by Eurofay, remodeling, design, and innovations at eurofay.com. When Elfego Baca took the job of deputy sheriff, he knew that the mountain country near Socorro would be the scene of many conflicts. The most obvious tensions were between the Spanish and the Anglos, and between the farmers and the ranchers. But on that October night in 1884, some out-of-town cowboys rode into town drinking and shooting their pistols. Baca ordered them to stop, and arrested one cowboy who had shot off the sheriff's hat. When the gang came back demanding the release of the cowboy, Baca refused. Instead, he counted to 3, began shooting, and killed one of the men and another man's horse. The next morning, the cowboys and some angry friends returned, 80 of them in all. Sheriff Baca barricaded himself in a small hut containing only a statue of St. Anne. Baca held his attackers off for 36 hours, alone. Neither the saint nor the sheriff were touched by a single bullet. Baca survived this incident and many others. He went on to a distinguished political career. After a long and prosperous life, he died peacefully in 1945. To learn more about Elfego Baca, visit the New Mexico State Library in Santa Fe. For Moments of Enchantment, I am David Griffin.
Alfredo Baca.
KNW 644, former President Donald Trump says he will voluntarily surrender today to the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta. We'll have live special coverage from NPR coming up here on KNW. Keep it here at KNW for complete details on that. It's Michael Brasher, and thank you for joining us. You can contribute, support our programming, KANW.org.
KANW.org.
Comes from this station and from Melville Charitable Trust, committed to ensuring all people have a safe, stable, and affordable home that allows them to thrive. Information about ways to prevent and solve homelessness is at melvilletrust.org. From the Lemelson Foundation, dedicated to inspiring and enabling the next generation of inventors to improve lives around the world. More information is available at lemelson.org. And from the Doris Duke Foundation.
I'm too early today.
Edition from NPR News, I'm Layla Alden.
And I'm Steve Inskeep. 4 astronauts head for the International Space Station early tomorrow morning. As they prepare, NASA's participants have been quarantined.
Why did you open your window?
Space Center in Florida.
Why did you open your window?
They have their own gym. They even have
¿Qué
personal
pasa?
chefs. So what do
Huh?
they eat in there? From member
Cup?
station WMFE, Brendan
Wake
Brady
up.
reports.
The tiny galley
Oh, you're a
kitchen
cup.
at Kennedy Space Center's astronaut
Why you early?
quarters looks just like any commercial restaurant.
I know why
It's got
you're
all the
early.
staples, like a convection oven,
Because you don't want to
range,
stay
and
with
a
your wife
dishwasher.
in the morning.
But what sets this place apart is the tableware.
Right? See? You agree?
These have been around since Mercury days.
Been working this way like for 20 years. Waking up at 5 o'clock on my other job.
Yeah.
I'm used to it. I can, even if I sleep like that, I can't sleep like today, you know. By 5 o'clock I'm already up and sleep.
And then what do you do?
Just wake up and do some coffee,
And then?
some donuts and whatever. Wait the
Oh,
time to come.
oh, you're a cop too?
I'm a cop.
You're eating donuts?
Depends. If I'm hungry, I'll eat something else.
Uh-huh.
If I'm not hungry, I'll just eat a donut.
Oh.
I can drink my medication.
Why donut? Why not? You're Mexican.
What's that?
Why donut?
Sometimes you're not hungry, you know, like you're not like to eat like.
I thought it's tamales.
I do.
Ah, okay.
Yesterday I brought tamales.
Oh, all right. Sinong sunshine? Sinong sunshine kaya? Ang wala. Makulimlim ngayon. Ano kayang mangyayari ngayon? Uulan? O cloudy lang? Sinong may sunshine? Sinong dakila?
Chef Farino is baking dozens of those cookies for this upcoming cruise. As a lifelong Florida Space Coast resident,
Sarap matulog pag ganitong makulimlim.
Never in my wildest dreams did I ever imagine that I would be here and cooking for these, I call them true American heroes.
And after Farino and fellow chef Joe Alfano cook that last meal for the crew before their flight, the team will wash those NASA dishes, clean that small galley kitchen, and start planning the menu for the next group of astronauts to dine with them. For NPR News, I'm Brendan Byrne at the Kennedy Space Center.
NPR News time. Sino kaya yun? Sinong kwan? Monday to Friday. Ewan ko ba dyan kay Maricel Press Eden? Anong sinasabi niya? Press Eden, maganda maglakad-lakad ngayon. Malamig na. Paano yan? Galit-galit muna tayo ha. Good morning and good evening.